Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Carmen with Elemental Designs, and today I'm here to share with you guys a very simple DIY. This is for word embellishments. You can do this out of any shapes, but the shape that I chose to use was the light bulb. This idea was inspired by the Prima marketing embellishments, which are little flat, they're actually not flat, they're a little acrylic light bulbs. They have these inspirational or motivational words or prompts on them. They're acrylic based and they're clear, and pretty much all you see is just the word and then the shape of the light bulb. It's super cute. Most of you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but they're not that easy to find, and so what I decided to do was create something that was similar to that in my own kind of way. So for this DIY, what you're going to need is some chipboard pieces. You're going to need some decorative paper, any kind of decorative scrapbook paper that you wish. If you wish to have decorative scrapbook paper, um, you can also decorate your chipboards with stamping, embossing, different kinds of things. So you can pretty much make them however you wish. For this one though, I'm going to use three different patterns, three different papers. I'm going to use one that's light and has like pinks and blues and greens in it. One that's a little bit more on the vintage and rustic side, and one that's a little bit more colorful. And so I use my Cricut Explore machine to cut out these little light bulbs and to also be able to manipulate the sizes and the shape a little bit. I wanted them to look a little different. I didn't want them to all be exactly the same. And so what I did is that I pretty much made them different sizes. And as you guys can see, I am sharing with you guys that I cut out the chipboards as well as the papers to kind of back them and make sure that they're nice and strong. And this really does make a nice sturdy embellishment when you back it up with the chipboard. To glue it together, I'm using Aleene's tacky glue. You can use any kind of glue that you have available. So as you guys can see, I went light bulb crazy. I have a whole bunch and a whole bunch of different sizes, but again, I think that they came out super adorable. Another thing that you're gonna need is something to gloss them over. What I used to make mine glossy is this product called Triple Thick. This one is by Decoart, but there's many different brands. It's kind of like a glossy accents on at 100 or 1,000, if you will. So it gives it a nice, it seals it and also leaves it with this really brilliant and shiny surface, kind of like, a light bulb with the glassy kind of surface. And again, you can use any shape, you guys. You can use any shape that you want. The light bulb was just something that appealed to me. I love the concept of, an idea and then having the word in the idea. So here I'm just sharing with you guys some of the products that I used. Again, this is optional. I used some PH Martin inks, some Decoart glitters. I stamped them. I did like different things to them. I went a little bit mixed media on them, adding gesso and paint and this and that. You can pretty much have a lot of fun with these and do them as, however you wish. So I'm just sharing with you now the different sizes. As you can see, the middle row, they're kind of bulging at the sides. That's because I kind of stretched the file sideways, so that it's kind of bulging. And then the small ones are pretty much a mirror image of the larger ones on top, just scaled down. And if you don't have like a Cricut machine or something like that, you can draw these by hand, you guys. These are super simple. If you have a printer, maybe you can print out some shapes of light bulbs and, cut them out. Trace them and cut them out. That's also an option. Or maybe you have some dies laying around that have little light bulbs in them and you never thought to do something like this. Pull them out. So, um, so pretty much what you're going to see me do, I'm going to be distressing these, and you're just going to see me having fun. So here I'm going to go and start distressing them. I'm not going to put you guys through the misery of watching me distress all of those little light bulbs. No, you guys. I'm just going to do a few just so that you guys can see more or less the process of what I went through in order to create these really super cute embellishments. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna stop sharing with you guys this part of it, and now we're gonna move on to the next part of this video. And I've done all of my shading, and now I'm just gonna start adding more words. And Some of the stickers were a little long for the size of the light bulb, so I would cut them in half. Again, whatever you can fit in it, be them words, phrases, even quotes, if you can get them, you know, in the right size, then anything can go in here. You could decoupage them with napkin. I mean, like I said, the limit is your creativity. So you can pretty much do them however you wish. And so I'm adding all of the words down to my little embellishments. And once I do that, um, and I'm distressing the little stickers as well, I believe. Yes, I'm distressing the little stickers. So I've distressed the little sticker words. And I think I find a few here and there that I didn't do. So I'm going to go ahead and distress those as well. And then I'm going to outline the outside of the sticker just so that it pops out a little bit more. Again, you can add whatever you want to them. You can decorate them however you wish. I just wanted to add a little bit of something just to make the white stickers kind of pop out a little bit on the background. So super, super cute. And they almost look like little hot air balloons as well. So again, you know, with this light bulb shape, you can actually probably make two different things. You can make little light bulbs if you want, and if you feel really creative, you can turn these into little hot air balloon embellishments. So it's just finishing up the tracing part of it. I think these are super cute. I really like the vintage feel of some of them. The style is going to pretty much be determined by the kind of paper that you use or the things that you put on it. So just adding a little bit of a white, you know, a little bit of a white, I guess, like a little light spot, right? Like where the light will be hitting it, where it would kind of glimmer. I do that to some, I don't do that to all. Again, you just kind of have fun. So the rest of this video is going to pretty much be me just playing around with them, having a little bit of fun and decorating them and just adding little things here and there. Another product that I'm also going to be using is going to be some metallic wax. You can use metallic paint if that's an option. You don't even have to use that if you don't want to. But for mine, I did use that. I wanted it to really look like a light bulb, and so the light bulbs have that silver, you know, the screw bottom. So I added a little bit of silver paint to the bottom of all of those. And here I'm starting to play with some of the iridescent inks. These look really, really, like, honestly, the video doesn't do it justice. When you see them up close and personal, they're so shiny, they're so glimmery. The light hits them from different angles, and you just see different colors coming through. They came out so super cool, and I really, really love them. And I have quite a few left over, but I told myself I'm not going to make myself an abundance because then I won't use them all. So I have quite a few though. I have quite a few. And the other ones that are left over, I can always, you know, incorporate them or make my own as I go. Like if I needed a specific phrase and I wanted to add it in there, then I can just do that at that point in time. So I left myself a couple there are still blank and don't have anything on them. So I've added glitter, as you guys can see. Anything that you add on here, texture-wise, will be sealed once you apply the triple thick or your glossy accents. Um, I know some, maybe like a high gloss glue or something like that, but you're not gonna always get the same effect transparency wise with the different glues. So make sure that you pay attention to that. Like do a test run real quick before you do them all, and just see how they dry. See how it dries, and if it dries nice and clear and translucent, then you're good to go. Because you know some glues they dry and they're a little bit milky when they finish. They're not all the way clear, so give it a nice little test run before you go. So I'm having loads and loads of fun, you guys. Loads and loads of fun here. Doing a little bit of dot painting, adding a little bit of white dots here and there. Just having fun. They're all a little different, and that's what I love about this. Making these. They're all a little different, and I look forward to doing them with other shapes and things like that as well. And this, I don't believe that this is something that is new as far as, adding the words into different shapes and stuff like that. I don't believe that this is new. So I'm not claiming any new inventions here, you guys. I just thought that this was super, super cute. I haven't really seen anybody else do these light bulbs like this before, but that's not to say that it's probably not out there, you guys. Our crafting world is so immense, and the layers run deep, you guys. So you never know. You never know. But nonetheless, I was like, you know what, I'm going to share these because I haven't seen anything else like this, so maybe others haven't either. Who knows? And if you have seen them, please share. Let me know where you saw it. I would love to see how theirs came out. You know, that's what this community is about. Creativity, feeding more creativity. I think that is just super, super amazing. And so I'm using this really rinky-dink little tool. It's dry and hard, and I thought it was perfect because it doesn't really pick up all of the glue. When I dab it on, it just picks up little pieces here and there, so it doesn't leave me like a glop of glue. It just allows, just for a little dab, that I can sprinkle just a light little amount of glitter. I could have cut up a lot of these scenes, a lot of these little bits and pieces in the video, but a lot of the times I like to include them because you never know. People get ideas from just about anything and everything, and you never know what's going to spark somebody's creativity. So a lot of the times you'll see that I leave a lot of these extra little bits and pieces. It's not that I'm not editing or for lack of editing. It's just the point of some people are new. Some people are beginners. Some people have never picked up a brush or a coloring pencil or any of these things. So I leave these little bits and pieces in that to some may seem redundant because either they know how to do it themselves or they've seen it so, so many times. But we always have people that are new. There's always new people coming in. Um, and so I like to leave a lot of those little bits and pieces in. Because people, you know, you never know who's learning. You never know who's learning in the process. And I apologize for the noise in the background. Um, but that's just how it goes. So here you guys kind of see me applying what am I doing? Oh yes, I'm applying the triple thick. I'm applying the triple thick, and I use a spatula to do this. You don't need a lot, literally, you really don't need a lot. I just pretty much like to cover the whole entire base, and I cover everything from, um, I don't cover the metal part in the bottom, I just cover the part that's actually supposed to be the glass bulb part of it. And I leave the bottoms alone because I still have to kind of paint them. Now, if you want to gloss the whole thing, that's perfectly fine. Just paint your, you know, decorate your bottom part or however you're going to leave it. Just do that first before you apply it. Because once you apply the triple thick, you're not going to really be able to go over it and paint over it or anything like that without covering up, you know, the glossy effect. So adding a little bit, making sure that I pop the little air bubbles as I see them, although a lot of them do kind of disappear on their own. But these came out super, 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 like, I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. So I just use a little spatula. You can use pretty much anything that you have. And I just pretty much spread it over and just make sure that the sticker itself is nice and covered so that that doesn't end up falling off later on. And so far, none of them have. Everything is still holding up pretty well. Now you can also add more, like, let's say glitters or stuff like that while this is drying, but try not to mess with it too much because if you end up it starts drying right away, although it does take a little bit of time for it to completely dry because triple thick is a little bit different than what, like, let's say glossy accents would be. So it does take a little bit of time to dry. However, it starts to dry right away. Like once you lay it out, it starts to dry. And these are really, really thin layers, so they do dry rather quickly. I would say probably within like an hour or so they were already dry. Um, but if you disturb them while they're drying, and let's say you put your finger in it or something is stuck on it, like you're gonna get that texture and it's gonna stay there. It doesn't flatten itself back out once it's already in the drying process. Only if you catch it at the very, very, very beginning. So what you're gonna have to do is let it dry and then reapply a little bit more of the triple thick right over that area that got a little bit messed up. to try to kind of level it so that you don't feel that texture above it. You know, that texture on the surface from where you dipped your finger or your brush fell into it or something. Um, and then I just, you know, it's self-leveling, so I just pretty much move it around a little bit just to make sure that it's evenly distributed. But for the most part, it's self-leveling, and it'll stay, you know, on the surface that you're putting it on. Like it won't go like running all over the place. However, if you put a whole bunch, then yeah. So my advice to you is start really, 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 really small, little amounts. You know, start spreading it. Little amounts, start spreading it so that you put just the right amount, and you're not like wasting your products. Number one, number two. You're not making it so thick. It's not gonna be so dimensional that it's gonna look like, you know, an actual light bulb. It's gonna be pretty flat. And unless you add a whole bunch of layers, which in order to make it really big, like to make it nice and dimensional, what you're gonna have to do is let it dry, add more triple thick, let it dry, add more, and kind of build your layers that way. So we're almost near the end of this DIY. I want to say thank you guys so much for checking it out. I hope that you will like it. Let me know what you guys think. If you like to see these kinds of videos, like these little kinds of embellishment types of things, I'll try to get them in there, um, you know, as much as I can. I don't do much embellishments myself, but I do like to play with them here and there now and then. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. You can definitely check out my Instagram for more pictures, and I will catch you guys on the next one.